Hi everyone, Jesse here with eTrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at and I'll show you how to install the EcoHitch custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5. Even though the Ioniq 5 is an electric car, that doesn't mean you're not going to be taking it out on your adventures. And a great way to add some extra storage to your vehicle is adding a hitch. Once you have this hitch installed, you can throw on accessories such as a bike rack or a cargo carrier, or you can even do some light duty towing with it. Here's a closer look at our hitch installed on our neighbor's vehicle. The hitch does install behind the fascia, so you won't be seeing the cross tubes at all. All you'll really be able to see is the receiver opening, which has a nice matte black paint finish to it. That's going to be your standard 2" by 2" receiver opening. Behind that is another standard 5/8" pinhole. The pin and clip are not included with the hitch, however we have many options available here at eTrailer. Also, any accessory that you add on will most likely come with one included. And we have a nice sturdy safety cable loop here. Very easy to access with whatever style safety cable you have, like an S style like this, or even a large clevis like this. Now for some quick measurements, we'll start with our ground clearance. This is going to sit pretty low to the ground. Looks like we're a little bit over 11 inches. And that's from the ground to the top of the inside of the collar. Then from the center of our pinhole to the edge of our bumper here is right at about 4.5 inches. That's the number you'll want to keep in mind for any folding accessories that you might add on to ensure they don't make contact with the vehicle. As for our weight capacities with this hitch, we have a gross trailer weight of 4,000 pounds. That's the amount of weight that you can pull behind the vehicle. Then we have a maximum tongue weight of 400 pounds. That's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. Always be sure to double check your vehicle's owner's manual, compare those numbers, and go off the lowest rated component to make sure that you're safe out there on the road. All in all, if you're looking for a hitch for the back of your Ioniq 5, there's really not a lot of options out there, but I think the EcoHitch looks great on the back of our neighbor's vehicle. If you have any questions or concerns about this hitch or anything else we offer here at eTrailer, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you pointed in the right direction. And when it comes to the installation with this hitch, you do have to remove the fascia. So if that's not something that you're looking to do yourself, check out our dealer locator. You can find someone local to you that would be happy to get you set up. If you are looking to see how this gets installed, then follow along and I'll walk you through the process. We'll start our installation by removing our tail lights. So there's a hard plastic cover going over it. There's a little notch up here. If you get a plastic trim tool like this under it, you should be able to pop it out. And then we have 2 more notches on the side here. Get those popped out and just carefully lift this out of position. Make sure all those tabs are completely released. Then we have 2 10mm bolts. Remove those. We can pull our tail light out. It's just held in by a couple clips back here. And then to unplug it, I'm going to reach in, pull this grommet out, and guide that wire through the hole. And then you'll find your plug. Push on the tab, separate the two, and then we don't want to just let this go because it's going to be hard to fish it out of this tiny hole. So what I'll do is use some painter's tape and just tape it up like this. That way it doesn't fall. With our tail light out of our way, we have 2 push clips to remove. You can just use a flathead screwdriver or a trim panel tool like this. Pop the center out and pop the entire thing out. And once we have those removed, we have an 8mm screw. We'll get that removed. And from this point on, anything we do on this side, we'll just repeat that same process on the other side. Now inside of our wheel well area, we'll have a variety of fasteners to remove. I'll start with this 10mm. I'll just work my way down. The next one is just a push pin. So once again, pop the center out of it. And then you can pop the entire thing out. And then we have 2 Phillips screws. One here and one down there. We have one more push pin fastener holding that felt liner. So we'll pop that out. That's going to allow us to peel that liner back. And now we can get our hands behind our wheel well trim here. And we'll want to pull straight out on that. There's a couple clips here and here. You can kind of reach back and manipulate those clips. It's going to be tough to see, but there's a tab on this side of it. I'm trying to push in on that to allow me to pull this out. But we just want to be careful and work one clip at a time. Got those two, and then this third one, you're not able to access behind here, and it seems to be the most stubborn one. Just carefully pull it straight back, and it should release. Just like that, and then I'll grab something to just kind of hold our trim out away so we can get our fascia removed from the side. Now underneath the vehicle, we have 4 more push pin fasteners to remove. So let's go down the line and get all those popped out. Now we're ready to pull our fascia off. I'd recommend grabbing an extra set of hands. I have my very good friend Daniel here to help me out. So we'll start on the outside, just gently pulling back, releasing all the clips. And we'll make our way towards the center. Don't pull it out too far because we have a wiring connector. So there's a push tab here to allow you to release this gray clip. Pull back on that clip, that'll disconnect it. Now we can set it aside. We need to remove our bumper beam here. That's held in by 2 12mm bolts on both sides. Get the one side removed, and then just make sure that you're holding onto it while you remove the 2 bolts on the other side. And we can pull it off. It has these guide pins that you have to pull straight out, and we'll set it aside. Now we can bolt on our side brackets. These are side specific, but really it'll only kind of fit into place one way, so just check both sides, make sure you have the right one. We're going to line it up with these mounting holes, and then there's this bar that comes out that kind of slots in nicely. Then we'll take our finer threaded bolts out of our kit with a flat washer and these silver split washers. And we'll loosely bolt those in for now, and all 3 of those weld nuts. Now with both of our side brackets in place, we can slide our hitch and get it all lined up. And push through our bracket. And once you get one side lined up, we can start a bolt, and we'll top that off with a copper split washer and a nut. That'll hold it in place so we can get the rest of our hardware installed. In order to get the driver's side lined up with the bracket, I did have to put quite a bit of force up against this plug here. If you were really having it fight you, you could just use a trim panel tool and pop that off and try to relocate it. Just make sure that you secure it down once you're done. Now I'll get the rest of my hardware in place. Now we can tighten our hardware down. We'll start with the bolts on the side here that are holding our hitch. You'll need a 19 or 3/4 inch socket and a wrench to hold the nut. And once you have all those tightened down, we can move on to tightening down our side brackets. Now we'll take our torque wrench and go over everything and torque it down to the specification and the instructions. And they do want you to start with your cross tube bolts first, then move on to the side brackets. Before we can reinstall our fascia, we need to cut it out just a little bit. There's a diagram in the instructions. Essentially, you're finding center. I measured between these two holes. Found my center, then you go 2 3/4 inches across and 4.5 inches up. I'll be making this cut with a multi-tool. You can use a Dremel, just whatever you have that will cut through this plastic. Then we can pop that out. There is 2 layers of plastic, so you got to go in pretty deep with it. We'll pop it out and clean up our edges with a file or razor blade, and then we can reinstall our fascia. And before you reinstall your fascia, just remember to reinstall your bumper beam. And then for reinstalling the fascia, it's just going to be the opposite of how we took it off. Once you have your fascia reinstalled, that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the EcoHitch Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver on our 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5.